Sami Zayn costs Roman Reigns the Universal Championship. WWE Raw receives frightening ratings. Alexa Bliss gets into a legitimate fight on Raw. Cody Rhodes opens up ahead of WWE Return. Brock Lesnar facing Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania 39. Does Logan Paul really have steel screws in his hands? Let's jump right into our first story. WWE Raw receives frightening ratings. The ratings for the Halloween episode of WWE Raw are in, and they are indeed frightening. According to Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics, Raw had a rough evening last night on Halloween. The Red brand brought in 1.5 million viewers with a key demo rating of 0.36. Despite the lower viewership total, Raw's overall ranking was normal for the week. Only ESPN broadcasts rated ahead of the Red brand last night. Raw caught a break as well in terms of ratings as Game 3 of the MLB World Series was postponed due to weather. If the baseball game had been played, the ratings for Monday's episode of Raw would have likely been even worse. This week's edition of the Red brand was a stacked show as it was the final Raw before WWE Crown Jewel this Saturday. Undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns made a rare appearance on the Red brand and vowed to smash Logan Paul at Crown Jewel. Logan's former tag team partner, The Miz, interrupted and said that nobody knows the popular YouTuber better than him. Roman wasn't interested in help from The Miz and leveled the A-lister with a Superman punch. Nikki Cross interfered in the main event of last week's episode of Raw and cost Bianca Belair her non-title match against Bayley. The EST got revenge last night and defeated Cross in a singles match. Belair will defend the Raw Women's Championship against Bayley in a last woman standing match this weekend at the Premium Live event. Seth Rollins and Austin Theory put on a terrific wrestling match that received praise from a WWE legend. The Visionary picked up a victory over Mr. Money in the Bank last night on Raw. Carl Anderson defeated Damian Priest in a singles match, but Rhea Ripley hit Luke Gallows with a couple of low blows after the match. The Judgment Day will battle the OC in a six-man tag team match this Saturday. Matt Riddle defeated Otis in a trick or street fight. Alpha Academy recruited the SNL Chip and Dale sketch last night for Halloween. Mustafa Ali defeated The Miz after Dexter Lumis showed up in the crowd and distracted the A-lister. Johnny Gargano then provided a conspiracy theory that suggested the WAS is paying Dexter to be his celebrity stalker. In the main event, Asuka and Alexa Bliss captured the Women's Tag Team Championships from Dakota Kai and Io Sky of Damage CTRL. Bayley and Bianca Belair battled ringside, and the role model put the EST through a table. Belair is set to defend the Raw Women's Championship against Bayley in a last woman standing match this Saturday. Damage CTRL will face Alexa and Asuka in a rematch for the Women's Tag Team Championships at WWE Crown Jewel. The ratings for this week's show were down, but there were several factors at play. It will be interesting to see if the Red brand bounces back next week. Did you enjoy this week's episode of WWE Raw? Let us know in the comments section below. Alexa Bliss gets into a legitimate fight on Raw. Things may have gotten a little too heated between Alexa Bliss and Io Sky on WWE Raw this week. The duo seemingly got into a legitimate fight at one point during the main event. Alexa Bliss continued her feud with Damage CTRL on this week's edition of the Red brand. She came out to aid Bianca Belair in her fight against the villainous stable. Little Miss Bliss was also joined by Asuka, who was taken out by Bayley and company a few weeks back. Bliss and Asuka then went on to challenge Io Sky and Dakota Kai to a match for the women's tag team title. The two teams faced off in the main event of Raw. During the match, one of the kicks from Sky hit Alexa Bliss right on the head, which seems to have infuriated the latter. Little Miss Bliss went on to throw a couple stiff-looking punches at her opponent. However, things got back to normal as Alexa Bliss picked up the victory for her team after planting Sky with a twisted bliss. Bayley and Bianca Belair were also present at ringside during the bout. The duo brawled outside the ring. Alexa Bliss and Asuka ended Damage CTRL's title reign on Raw to become the new WWE Women's Tag Team Champion. The duo have been embroiled in a feud with the villainous faction for months now and finally had a retribution for their earlier loss to Io Sky and Dakota Kai. Alexa and Asuka commented on their victory in an exclusive interview backstage. The goddess stated that they believed in themselves while Asuka was just overwhelmed with emotions, exhausted. "We knew we could dethrone Damage CTRL, and that's exactly what we decided to do and came out on top," said Bliss. The duo may play a major role in Bianca Belair's upcoming match against Bayley. The EST of WWE is slated to defend her Raw Women's Championship against the role model in the last woman standing match at Crown Jewel. While Io Sky and Dakota Kai are expected to help their fellow stablemate in her quest for the title, the return of Bliss and Asuka could even the odds for Belair. Who do you think will come out on top at Crown Jewel? Sound off in the comments and let us know. Cody Rhodes opens up ahead of WWE Return. Cody Rhodes suffered a torn pectoral muscle training for WWE Hell in a Cell and will be out of action for the foreseeable future. The American Nightmare made his shocking return to WWE at WrestleMania 38. He arrived as Seth Rollins' mystery opponent and defeated the Visionary in a great match at the biggest show of the year. Their rivalry was far from over, and Cody went on to defeat Seth 2 more times, including at Hell in a Cell with the injury. The 37-year-old took to Twitter today to reveal that his torn pectoral has been awful. He pointed to his family as the best reason not to tap out during his recovery. "How's PT going? It's effing awful. Every day we dig into the muscle, then I scream. Half the time I spot a tear flowing. It's a near impossible task getting a body part that had been shredded to 100%. Or hell, even 90%. But on the worst of days I have the best reason to not tap out," tweeted Rhodes. Cody Rhodes was an EVP of All Elite Wrestling and was a huge part of the show when the company first launched. However, over time, AEW fans began to sour on the American Nightmare and ultimately turned against him. The American Nightmare was featured on the Go Big Show competition program as a judge and also had a reality series titled Rhodes to the Top on TNT. The show lasted 1 season and was met with negative reviews. Rhodes responded to a fan on Twitter and said that they started filming a second season shortly before he opted to leave All Elite Wrestling. Cody hinted that the footage will be repurposed as a backstage show for AEW and teased a possible reality show for WWE in the future. "Such fun. Started filming season 2 before I departed EU, but afterwards I believe it's been repurposed into a general backstage show, which no doubt will be fun and entertaining. If it happens again, it'll be on Peacock, part of the NBC family." Speaking of something fun coming, Cody noted that he returned to WWE to go after the biggest title in the industry. It will be interesting to see if the American Nightmare and the Tribal Chief meet inside the squared circle down the line. Would you like to see Cody Rhodes become the undisputed WWE Universal Champion in 2023? Let us know in the comments section below. Brock Lesnar facing Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania. Wrestling legend Dutch Mantel thinks Brock Lesnar's current WWE storyline with Bobby Lashley could continue until WrestleMania 39. This Saturday, Lashley and Lesnar will go one-on-one at Crown Jewel 2022 in a battle between 2 of WWE's top heavyweights. In recent years, the Beast Incarnate has been known to feud with rivals for several months leading up to a blockbuster WrestleMania bout. Mantel, formerly known as Zeb Coulter in WWE, spoke to Sid Puller 3 on Sportskeeda Wrestling's Smack Talk show about Lesnar's storyline direction. "Brock goes over in this one, I think. And then they start something and maybe it could lead all the way to WrestleMania because they start these angles 6 months in advance and kind of try to peak it off at WrestleMania. I think Brock goes over with some kind of unique, different finish, whatever that could be, and I think they start something from there." WrestleMania 39 will take place at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California, on April 1-2, 2023. Due to its star-studded location, the event is also being marketed as WrestleMania Goes Hollywood. With 5 days to go until Crown Jewel 2022, Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar were supposed to participate in sit-down interviews on this week's Raw. Instead, the latter walked down to the ring and invited the Almighty to meet him face-to-face. Lashley left the interview area and accepted Lesnar's challenge, resulting in a massive brawl at ringside. WWE superstars, officials, and Chief Content Officer Triple H got involved to break up the fierce rivals. Triple H even threatened to call off the Crown Jewel 2022 match if Lashley and Lesnar's physicality got out of control. The two were eventually torn apart, meaning the contest in Saudi Arabia is still scheduled to go ahead. Would you like to see Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 39 next year? Let us know in the comments section below. Does Logan Paul really have steel screws in his hands? Logan Paul's one lucky shot theory has a deeper meaning than previously thought. As pointed out by an anxious Paul Heyman on WWE SmackDown, the YouTube sensation apparently has steel pins inserted in his hands. This revelation makes Paul's showdown with Roman Reigns a much more exciting affair. "My tribal chief, I was in synagogue and I was sitting next to a doctor who that Logan Paul once broke his hand, and Logan Paul has steel pins inserted in the hands that he throws that knockout punch with." Many consider the statement absurd, just like Jake Paul's incident. The boxer claimed he had a camera installed on his left arm, but YouTuber Call Me Ming dismissed his claims. However, rumors of Paul having steel screws in his fist could be true. The YouTuber apparently broke his hand during a night out in Hamburg, Germany. The injury allegedly occurred after he attempted to clobber a punching machine but accidentally hit a wall in the process. "So in hospital after my surgery, which went well by the way, I now have a 40mm screw in the center of my hand, and after months of physical therapy I can make a fist now, so it looks like I'll be boxing again," Paul revealed in a podcast. Following the incident, Logan Paul was photographed wearing an arm cast. This put a damper on his potential projects as he was fresh off a massive fight against Floyd Mayweather. Even if Paul doesn't have steel in his hands, the fact that he wasn't knocked out by a boxing champion highlights his potential as an athlete. The Maverick recently took out Jey Uso with a single punch on SmackDown. It remains to be seen if he will flatten the Tribal Chief with a similar move on November 5th. Winning the undisputed Universal Championship seemingly isn't the only thing on Paul's mind. He wanted to fight with the GOAT of pro wrestling to prove himself to the world. Speaking to Verge magazine about his forthcoming match at Crown Jewel, Paul declared his goals heading into the Saudi Arabia spectacle. "If the WWE fans don't already respect me, after Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia on November 5th, you will be forced to respect me," said Paul. "You might not like me, I might not be your favorite wrestler, but you will have to respect what I can do in that ring, and that's my goal." Roman Reigns vs. Logan Paul will main event WWE Crown Jewel 2022. The show will emanate from the Al Rasul Park in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, on November 5th. Sami Zayn costs Roman Reigns the Universal Championship. Wrestling veteran Jeff Jarrett has shared his thoughts on the upcoming undisputed WWE Universal Championship match between Roman Reigns and Logan Paul. Logan Paul and the Tribal Chief are set to lock horns this Saturday at Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia. While many doubt Paul's chances in the bout, the Maverick believes he only needs one lucky punch to secure the win. Speaking on his My World podcast, Jeff Jarrett noted that Logan Paul is championship material. However, he believes the company might not yet be looking to dethrone Roman Reigns. "The Paul kid becoming champion, I think, would work in every kind of way. Do I think they're going to do it? No, I just don't think they'll switch the title in Saudi. But look, online audiences are talking about it. Logan Paul will look to do what multiple stars have failed to do over the past 2 years, which is defeat Reigns for his world title. Since Logan Paul managed to stir up the heat between the bloodline a few weeks back, the chances of him dethroning Roman Reigns are even higher. Imagine a scenario where Jey Uso and Sami Zayn can't keep their cool or figure out a way to save their Tribal Chief, and end up costing him the title. In that case, it would be better for WWE to make it Sami Zayn's fault so that he can feud with Roman Reigns. At this point, Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns don't need championships to stay relevant on the roster. The Tribal Chief has been champion for nearly 800 days and will be looking to continue his dominant run in the promotion. As of late, many have made the head of the table aware of Paul's knockout power. Hence, Reigns looked to remind the WWE Universe of his many strengths last night on Raw. After his in-ring promo yesterday on Raw, Reigns looked square on camera and noted that there is no one alive who can knock him out. "There ain't a man alive who can touch my button. If I had one, they wouldn't be able to locate it. Can't no man knock me out." While most expect Roman Reigns to stand tall this Saturday, the intrigue behind Logan Paul's ability to land one lucky shot has gripped the WWE Universe, who will leave Crown Jewel as the champion. Give us your thoughts in the comments section below.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me